Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. This week our Torah portion begins with the death of Sarah and it ends with the death of Abraham. And it's a fascinating turn of phrase. When Sarah's death is discussed, it's Chaye Sarah, the life of Sarah. And then when Abraham's death is recorded, it talks about how Abraham lived a long, full life. In both cases, the Torah is sort of saying to us, don't focus so much on the death, remember the life that was lived. Now that's a really interesting idea because we Jews, when we recall someone who has died in our own family, we recall them at their yortzeit, at the day of their death, not at the day of their birth. The reason is because at the day of their death, we have a full picture of who they were, of how they lived their life. And this is the Jewish view, that we celebrate the most and we honor the most when the ship comes back in after having completed a long journey. When the ship starts out, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know where things are going to end up. But by the end of the journey, we know how things have turned out. And so we mark the day of death. In America, you might note, we do the opposite. So Martin Luther King Day is the day of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birth. Or what was Lincoln's and Washington's birthday, what were Lincoln's and Washington's birthdays, were the days of their birth. So the American model sees it a different way. But we Jews see the end day as an important thing to mark because it allows us to take time to appreciate all that a person did in their life and how fully they lived and how much they used their gifts to help others. I hope you'll join us for Shabbat services this Friday evening. Services are at 6 o'clock here at the temple. Saturday morning, Torah study at 10. Services at 11. We celebrate the bar mitzvah of Nat Gale. This week we are still collecting turkeys for the food pantry. So if you can get them in before Friday, that's great. We can give them out. And the choir is going to be singing Friday evening, so there'll be lots of fun music at the service Friday night. Next week things are a little quieter as we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, but we've got lots of fun stuff coming up. We have the Latvia Brigade is back up and running and all sorts of other things. One other brief note, on Sunday morning, this coming Sunday, we have a fascinating scholar who's going to be here talking about his new book. Edward Berenson wrote a book about the last blood libel that happened in the United States, and it happened in Messina, New York, where Jews were accused of killing a Christian child who went missing so that they could use the blood to make matzah. This is an old Nazi canard that has been used, an anti-Semitic canard that's been used for centuries. Obviously not true, but it happened on our shores in America in 1928 and not far from here. So we're looking forward to welcoming the author and to reading more of his book and to learning more from him. For now, though, I wish you a Shabbat of the kind of reflection that our Torah portion suggests to us. The kind of reflection that says, look at how you used your time on earth. How did you use your gifts most wisely? How did you accentuate all that you were given? And how did you leave the world a better place? If we do that, then I think we turn our view and we turn the world into a place filled with more gratitude. Because we recognize how much we've done and we recognize how much others have done. And there's only but one response, and that is to give thanks for that. And what could be better at this season of year than to give thanks? So Shabbat Shalom for now. Look forward to seeing you at the temple, and look forward to sharing this period of gratitude with all of you. Shabbat Shalom.